Welcome, friends, to episode 7 of Easier Ways. My name is Randy, and I'm your host. Today, I want to talk a little bit about convictions that lead to commitments. Now, might be kind of obvious too, whatever we're convicted about, what's really, truly important to us, what we really, truly believe, naturally, we will be congruent with that. So if we believe deep down, we are convicted that the way that we will have what we desire in life is through hard work, honesty, providing genuine value to this world, then it's very likely that your actions will be in alignment. Your commitments will be to doing things like hard work, getting up early, working late, working when others are taking their days off, again, providing maximum value for those that you work with. Okay. Now, of course, we say things and like, I believe that, if I want something in life, that I've got to earn it and I got to work hard for it. And then our actions aren't necessarily in line with that. Now, again, there's balance. Doesn't mean that to meet your goals, you're going to necessarily forsake all friendships and all other activities. That all you're going to do is being focused upon achieving your goal. Life is about discernment. It is very much about finding balance. The old saying, all work and no play makes Johnny a very dull boy. Yeah, I mean, we certainly have to have time to rest and recuperate. Otherwise, eventually, even the most convicted people will burn out. There's limits to everything, and it's just not a healthy way to live, grinding it out, despite what some people might say. I'm here as a 58-year-old man who did it for a long time. I did fairly well on the resume. National Director of Dealer Business Development for the world's largest motorcycle apparel manufacturer. I did some stuff with my career, and I worked really, really hard. And, when I went on vacations and stuff, I took my work with me in retrospect and such, all in all, that probably all the accomplishments that I'm proud of on my resume very likely could have occurred without working 80, 100 hours a week kind of stuff. And I missed out and I sacrificed on some stuff as well, too. So again, my point is not to talk about my resume. It's just, I know from personal experience that balance is really, really important. But let's kind of bring it into how to say, again, our ways of living. Again, easier ways is just, first off, does not mean that life will be easy if you happen to take some of the suggestions that are shared here and stuff, but it will be easier. How so? Well, again, in trying to force things, again, in 80 to 100-hour work weeks and such for myself, trying to make things always happen and stuff. It would have been easier just working 50 hours, maybe even 40 hours a week, and taking real vacations and such. And when I was in the office, when I was focused on work, that I was more in alignment, more dedicated with it, to doing the more results oriented tasks, as opposed to just taking care of the urgent, doing the important and such. Certainly there, in hindsight and stuff, there's ways it could have been easier going through this career. Now, also there's things, what I neglected, personal things, not professional things, that if you're convicted on, you won't necessarily need to have somebody reminding you that you need to do certain things, in regards to spending time with friends. If really, truly, this friendship is more important to you than work, then you're going to find time to be with this friend. But in all frankness, again, in my case, and I'm sure it's been in many others, there was part of the reason why I grinded it out was because there was other in the office that were doing it. Yeah, there's people that say that friends and family are the most important things to them, but they rarely spend time with them. Actions speak louder than words, so it's, yeah, what I'm bringing up here and stuff. Yeah, if you are truly convicted in something, you are responsible, no one else. My employer was not responsible, despite even them saying, by the way, I need you to work this weekend at this event and such. I could always said no. You could always say no. You are the one who determines the priorities in your life, your qualities in your life. Okay. And again, there's balance. Sometimes it is important to honor your work. Okay. But sometimes it is on, again, if you say, this is the most important thing. This is what I'm convinced of. This is what I'm convicted of living. Frankly, then live it. Be in integrity with your convictions. And if you're not, in all frankness, you're probably, if not consciously, subconsciously and stuff, not real happy with yourself. Because basically, again, if I say something that I am, again, I'm convicted or convicted upon being a good husband, and I'm not doing things that obviously a good husband would do, like things like just, again, spending time with my wife, genuinely being interested in her life, building a life together, and such. I can rationalize and justify why I'm not doing that, but internally, I'm lying to myself. I hope that makes sense. Okay. You say one thing and you do another thing. And that's the kind of stuff that makes you go, I'm a hypocrite. Being a hypocrite really, at least for me and such, is how I was miserable, how I was killing myself by 1,000 paper cuts each one little time when I said one thing and believed one thing and did another. Each of those times, frankly, I was betraying myself. And how I was coping with it was getting wasted all the time and rationalizing and justifying. And, it's just, regardless of what other people were thinking of me, what I thought of myself, because I wasn't being true to myself and my beliefs and my convictions, my commitments were not congruent, not in alignment. And yeah, the only way that was that self-hatred, that abandonment of self. Because honestly, I really did believe what I was convicted. I still, to this day, I have convictions and I do what I do because, again, I am in alignment. Again, there's an integrity in what I do. It doesn't make me necessarily a good person. What I did in the past doesn't make me a bad person. It just, again, frankly, it just brings me a little bit more inner peace. Okay, I don't hate myself like I once did. So this is on the topic today in the effort. If you are doing differently than what you say, and internally and externally, in what your values and your beliefs are, okay, those are the kind of things that very frankly can make a person hate themselves. And it's a slippery slope when you hate yourself. Yeah, people can love and they can do everything for you in the world, and if you start thinking things like, but if you only knew the real me, you wouldn't like me either, wouldn't love me either, and stuff. It just kind of blocks you from enjoying life as it would be, and if you can practice a little kindness and compassion towards yourself, but also, again, living a life of action that is a demonstration of what you really truly believe and what is truly important to you. That will make your life easier, I promise. So enough of my rants today. Thanks for tuning in. Next episode, we've got a fabulous guest. I think you'll enjoy what she has to share. Tune in. There's more to come.